I always find that this phrase of competition in content, but unity or cooperation in technology, that's much easier said than done, isn't it?
Yes, but it's very, very important. It comes to our next subject on cars, for example.
Yes.
It's very important to collaborate because cars, they work according to standards. We have ETSI standards. DAB is an ETSI standard. But if you do not have standards and you do different things, then it will not happen. And for example, in cars, we have this exclusivity with a radio button, and we're all used to it. And many of us say podcasts are so important, Spotify is so important, and they're tech giants so important. And they all have one voice talking to OEMs to get in the front of the dashboard. And if you do not collaborate on technology, you can't get in that dashboard. You don't stay there. They just, like Tesla, they didn't have a radio button anymore in a certain auto that they made.
Yes.
So we started lobbying. And not only in the Netherlands but combined with all the radio stations in Europe. For example, Radio Player Worldwide is not just an app, as many people think it's a consumer app or a web player. For us in the Netherlands, we didn't took the app or web player because there were many people that thought my own app is much better than that one.
Yeah, usually people think that.
Yes. And that's all fine. But in cars, you're not strong enough if your name is Slam FM. Nobody will move as you
Mercedes
are.
Mercedes doesn't really care
not
about
at all.
Slam FM.
And if you're Google and you say, "Hey Google, talk to Radio 538," it comes to TuneIn, and that's a third-party aggregator that puts on their own ads in it. So that's not what you want. So we created, like years ago, a worldwide radio API. And through that worldwide radio API, all the metadata comes from all the stations. And that is one place. There's one voice. Is this one now? No? Yes.
You can juggle them, yeah.
I'm very good at that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Feel free.
I'll throw them.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's important that we speak with one voice to the OEMs. And that is a combination of WorldDAB, but also...
OEM is the manufacturer of cars,
yeah.
or let's say of car interiors, really.
Yes.
Of the technology that goes in the cars.
For example, with WorldDAB, we have automotive group, and the chair of that automotive group is from CARIAD. And he's from Volkswagen, Audi. It's very important that he's our chair. It used to be somebody from the broadcasters, but now it's somebody from Audi, Volkswagen, who is on the barricades to keep radio in the front of the car. Yeah. And that is so important. It doesn't sound important, but it is very important because otherwise there is no radio button to find more in the dash. It's
super important. I mean, last week Tesla opened its first European factory a few miles down the road from here, and there's no radio button in a Tesla, or no, at least not in all of them.
Yeah.
And that's a real problem.
So what we do is we created a set of rules together with OEMs, broadcasters, chip manufacturers. The entire chain is involved in that. And that's the work that WorldDAB is involved in, Radio Player is involved in, but also the National Association of Broadcasters in America. Because they might have a different set of standards, not DAB, but we made one set of user experience guidelines. You can use in America, you can use it in Europe, and you can use it in Australia, where DAB Plus is also the chosen follow-up of FM.
Yes.
And that user experience guidelines, those are shared with the OEMs, and we even created a reference radio. So that works with DAB in the heart as broadcast in our own ecosystem, so you do not get lost in an IP surrounding, where of course are apps. And there will be radio apps in there. But this hybrid radio button works with DAB FM in the heart, and and then
take your hand a little further out.
So
maybe
you know that. Oh, that's this. Oh, okay, sure. I'm a bit rusty after 2.5 years.
There's a reason I'm here as well.
Yes. Now I forgot where I was.
You were at the collaboration to get in the dashboard and collaborate on the technology so that you're Europe-wide or probably even worldwide.
Yeah, it's worldwide.
Help us look over the borders when it comes to DAB+, and the development and the deployment of DAB+, in the world. What are the best examples of DAB+ currently?
Well, there's one I like very much that happened last week. We all know the Eiffel Tower, and we know how tall it is. But it will always be 6 meters taller now because there's a DAB antenna on top of it. Yeah. And it was really beautiful. If you look at the movie, which they made, of course, you can find it online. And there you see how the helicopter puts the DAB+ antenna on it. And that means that it's historic. It's historical. I mean, radio's first broadcast was on the Eiffel Tower. When you go there, you see the nice old men doing that. And now it's now. It's 2022, and it will be there in 2032 as well, because they won't take it off.
Probably not, yeah.
No, they won't. Much later, perhaps, but not now. So it's 6 meters taller, and that also means that all the roads in France are now being foreseen with DAB+. Yeah. So if you go on your holiday on the Route du Soleil, you finally can have a national channel throughout the whole time, which was not the case.
And it's remarkable because DAB+ about 5 or 7 years ago in France was just
unthinkable. I've been to Paris many times and been on the barricades, but it was unthinkable. Yes. Yeah, and now they're creating a marketing group, as you also have with Digital Radio Deutschland, and those stations, and that's what you just said. It is difficult to collaborate when you're competitors, and you all have different ideas on how you should do it. But there's so many examples on how you can do it and promote DAB+. As you can see, the beautiful developed logo here in Germany is now worldwide the logo of DAB+. And that's how it works when you collaborate and go over your own shadow, and there.
I think ego is the word.
Yes. Yeah. You shouldn't have that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's fine, but it probably shouldn't be in the way when it comes to these things. Yeah, you're right. Are there any other countries where you see development which you'd like to share, which probably...
Yes, well, we can see in the UK, it's now 66% of all listening is digital. That is both IP and DAB+. They get a new office which is combining radio player for the dashboard, so not particularly aimed at the app and web player, but especially for smart speakers and for cars, and then DAB+ combined. That's the case in the Netherlands. That's the case in Belgium. If we look at Belgium, we see there are 2 regions, the French-speaking part and the Flemish-speaking part, and they're not particularly friends. I happen to be the chair of...
That's a very sweet way to say it. Yeah. They hate each other.
No, it's not true. I'm in the middle of it because I'm chair of the round table of the Flemish minister, and of DAB+, and online, and that also means that we collaborate with the French-speaking part, and we even created a campaign that was over all of Belgium with all the retailers involved and manufacturers, and it was a recycle campaign. So they all knew it was important to collaborate, and there's one retailer, Van den Boren, collaborating with the French and the Flemish-speaking stations. It was really a party. It went very well. But it's everywhere, DAB. It's all throughout all of Europe, except Spain. It's a blank spot. And although the cars in Spain, 93% of all new sold cars have DAB+ on board. So if there's somebody awake who dares to take a national... distribution of DAB+ in Spain, you can get new chances, as we just heard.
Thank you very much for bringing along all these interesting insights. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacqueline Bierhorst from WorldDAB. Thank you very much.